His name is Mwenesi, and you can first just visit his Facebook page. Get yours. I will actually ask him what that is about a little later. Let's get to the important things. If you already get it, and I get this, a lot of businesses and corporates get it, and they will look for Mwenesi and say, you know what, help our people get to that refined space. Because they understand their people are their biggest asset. And the easier it is for them to articulate what they need to say to customers, the easier it is for them to do a sales pitch, the easier it is for them to converse, the better it is. And when it becomes second nature, hey, everybody's happy. However, and this is my challenge to public sector, somebody somewhere is in charge of all of you who needs to also help you do what you need to do. And you must also demand it. Don't sit there and say, Atujui government in Afayanini, you are government. Ask for Mwenesi. However, I want to go to individuals.
Right.
You are 30 or you are 35, 40 even, and either as an individual and a business capacity, your world is exploding.
Right.
You are doing more, you're being required to push yourself out more. If not, you've been promoted. And in this space, you need to carry yourself in a certain way. You're beginning to feel, I can't breathe. Can I, number one, just answer yes or no? Can I call Mwenesi and get a one-to-one?
Absolutely. Executive coaching is now something that we realize is a requirement because we've got the off-the-shelf modules, which are great for corporates, it's great for public sector. But at a one-on-one level, there are people who have certain things that they require for themselves. Either I'm in this stage in my life and I want to get to this stage. I am a manager now, I want to become a CEO. I am a CEO, I want to sit on certain boards. I am an intern, and I have this idea for my life where I'm going to open a business that's in fashion, whatever it is. The most important thing for me when it comes to one-on-one sessions is to articulate and to be very clear on what is your end game. I love working from the end because, and it doesn't have to be the end and then that's it. There can be several ends. So milestones, setting yourself certain milestones and saying, by the time I am 35, I want to have reached this place. I can see myself doing these things. By the time I'm 40, by the time I'm 50, those end states need to have they need to be very clear in your mind, because that's the only way you can start to package and align your activities and your behavior towards that. If you're not working towards a specific objective, and I'm always brought back to this book because I make reference to it all the time. It had such an impact on me. I read a lot of books and I encourage people to read, but this particular one, it's called Winners. It's by the former Prime Minister to the UK, Alistair Campbell.
Okay.
And he talks about the three things that all winners, and he's researched and looked at people who are winning in life, whether it's in sports, in politics, and whatever it is. And he says that the characteristics boil down to three basic things. You have to have your objective, again, end state.
Sure.
Your objective needs to be very clear. What do I want to accomplish? Then you put a strategy in place to meet that objective. You cannot deviate from the objective. And then now the daily things that you do, the things that we will teach as we go along under Appear, are the tactics, the day-to-day things that you need to do that feed your strategy, that help you accomplish your objective. So if your objective is to be a board member, we need to first look at the situation of board member of what?
Yes.
Where are you sitting? What are you, who are you serving? What kind of role? Are you a chairman? Are you this? And in that space, what are the expectations of your position? What are the expectations, and how much does that take away from your current life, your family life, your, all of the things that come with being a board member? We need to now unpack that and say, all right, dressing would have to look at your dressing in this manner. Would have to look at how you present yourself, because maybe you were presenting to different target group at this point. But at this level, we now need to go into a more advanced level of presenting and probably even public speaking. Your ability to lead and form teams and to associate with, because at that level, you're dealing with people who are maybe much more seasoned than you. They have more degrees, more experience.
There you go.
And how do you deal laterally with people who are more advanced and get your point across? Maybe before you were used to a hierarchical way of looking at things. Now you need to have a more egalitarian way of looking at it. And that goes to culture. Looking at different culture states? How do
True.
you make sense of your the cultural awareness of the people that you're going to be interacting with? And I'm just touching on these things because these are part of the modules that we've developed, that I've developed over time. At the Etiquette and Protocol Institute, together with some of the other trainers and facilitators that we work with, where whether you're in corporate, whether you're in business, whether you're a student, whether you are a senior government official, there's some basic truths that you have to deal with that are plug and play. You can, I don't like these trainings where you go to and you have to start looking up things and reading books and going on to Google. It needs to be practical. It needs to be something that you can immediately go and just start doing immediately.
But Mwenesi, there's somebody watching both of us right now thinking, but isn't that a given? I mean, surely you went to school, you had parents, you went to church, you were inculcated.
Right.
I mean, surely you know how to shake hands, you know how to say, how do you do? You know how to make sure that you wait for everybody before we all start eating. I mean, surely somebody's sitting there thinking, really?
Yeah, Carol, yeah, that's the thing, like, you know, that's perhaps your normal, because for most of us, that would be a normal given. But you'd be surprised how many people, for them, that is a completely new, and I'm not saying anything about our current democratic system, but you know, you look at the new crop of guys who've been elected, and for many of them, what you've just described is not a given. Because of their backgrounds, because of where they've come from, and the circles of influence that they were in, the schools that they went to, how they were raised. We all have not had the benefit of schooling that teaches the softer side of dealing and engaging with people on the other side and dealing with human beings. We don't all have that benefit, and that's why I've realized that there is a gap. I don't know whether, you know, it's a policy thing. I don't know whether it's an education system situation on the public education side, but there is definitely something that we need to do as a society to just be better and be more civilized.
I do believe it's part culture. Tradition should never be mixed with culture.
Right.
It's part culture. And culture is also that nonsense that says, but I don't want to put myself together to go to work because my work speaks for itself, which is absolute nonsense. And
Merit.
then, yes. And then there is a very big part of it is also our education system. And I did say this to you earlier, that I notice every time I interact with children and students from the public school system and the private school system, there is a difference. And this is not just in refinement. Forget that. It's the fact that there's a lot of young people, and when I say young, under 13, who still don't know how to use their voice because they have been taught consistently, I am here, you are here, I will teach you, regurgitate and keep going.
Right.
And then you shove that person in a space where you say, show us, lead us.
Express yourself.
Yes, and they're like, what does that look like?
Guide us, manage us.
Yes.
Right.
And they have no clue. And because they don't know what to do, they default to the lowest common denominator, name calling, slagging, you know, tribalism.
Right.
Just literally just monsters.
Yes.
And it's because the truth is they don't know better.
And you see,
and they don't have they have no other set of tools to work with.
Well, they've got me now. They've got me and a bunch of us at the Etiquette and Protocol Institute. But on a serious note, there is some rewiring that goes into it, especially on the one-on-one sessions, because you're right. Some of these things are deep-seated. It's been ingrained in you from a very young age, and you know, hopefully we will be able to cure that with, you know, a finishing school of some kind, which is my dream.
Mine too.
Yeah, because you know, these having to rewire someone who is in their 20s, in their 30s, in their 40s, to start to think that, you know what, you actually have this power that's inside you, and that's part of the reason why I started Get Yours, because you need to be able to get yours. You get that thing that you for whatever reason, because of your circumstances, because of your background, you feel you're not worthy of it, but it's because just doing things differently, slightly, tweaking some of your already existing characteristics and behaviors can make that marked difference in your ability to get ahead and progress, whether it is in the public sector, in the corporate sector, as an entrepreneur. If you can distinguish
In
yourself
life.
in life, my goodness, I mean, relationships, being able to deal with the home, because for me, family is very important. How you're able to, it starts there, how you're able to engage and influence and package yourself even to the people that are close to you at the nuclear family level, will have a spin-off effect on how you then carry yourself into your work life, your business life, and so on. So packaging for me is everything. If we can all just, I feel like I'm on a one-man crusade to try and get us all, working and speaking in a way that is civilized, that is that where we speak to each other with empathy,
Yes,
where we take
room
care
for the other person's
of how we look. We have to take time to put ourselves together. We can't just assume that we're going to get that job because of the merit or the work that we do. There has to be an investment that goes into what we're presenting to the world out there, because we're human beings. We react to what we see and what we feel with our senses. So you might as well make whatever you're putting out there attractive and acceptable.
I like that.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. A lot of people tell us, don't raise your voice, improve your argument.
Nice.
I think that's what Mwenesi is offering you, a chance for you to improve your argument, not by reducing yourself or the other person to nothing, but actually being able to make a point and let the other person say, I hear you, and that's fine. Now, when we come back, and this is my final segment with Mwenesi, I need to know, why get yours? What am I getting? It's very important. Please make sure you follow him on YouTube and on Facebook.